Did you know? Some believe the 9/11 attacks were not the work of terrorists, but a sinister plot hatched by the US government itself. This fascinating and controversial idea serves as the basis of an ocean of conspiracy theories that have sprouted in the aftermath of that unforgettable day. As we journey together through this complex web of theories, we will attempt to unravel the intricate tapestry of events and circumstances surrounding the 9/11 attacks. From examining the bewildering destruction of Building 7, a conundrum that has puzzled researchers for years, to probing the controversial and arguably Orwellian Patriot Act, we will try to shed light on the various elements that have fueled these conspiracy theories over the years, igniting heated debates and discussions. We will further explore the global impact, trying to understand the far-reaching implications that these events have had on international foreign policies. Every detail, every hypothesis, every theory will be carefully dissected and scrutinized. Let's delve deeper to understand the sequence of events and the theories born from them. On the morning of September 11th, 2001, a series of coordinated terrorist attacks shook the United States. An event so catastrophic it seared into global memory. But let's revisit this day. The tranquility of an average day was shattered when American Airlines Flight 11 was hijacked. The plane, akin to a missile, was aimed at New York City. At 8:46 a.m., the World Trade Center's North Tower was hit. Merely 16 minutes later, the South Tower was struck by United Airlines Flight 175. Both towers were ablaze, thousands trapped within. American Airlines Flight 77 was hijacked and struck the Pentagon at 9:37. The fourth plane, United Airlines Flight 93, never reached its intended target due to the heroics of the passengers. As the day progressed, the South Tower collapsed, followed by the North Tower. The World Trade Center was in ruins, causing the death of nearly 3,000 people. These cataclysmic events have incited numerous questions. Queries about the collapse speed, the air defense failure, the strange case of a miraculously intact passport found in the debris, and the unexplained collapse of Building 7. But what if there was more to the story than meets the eye? Stay with us as we delve deeper into the enigma is the September 11th attacks and explore the theories that suggest a narrative far more complex than the one we've been told. Among the chaos of that day, the collapse of World Trade Center Building 7 raised numerous eyebrows. This 47-story skyscraper fell into its own footprint approximately 7 hours after the morning's shocking events. It wasn't directly hit by an airplane, but fell due to fires reportedly ignited by debris from the Twin Towers. Collapse resembles a controlled demolition, a method used to safely bring down buildings by causing them to implode and minimize damage to nearby structures. This led to questions about how fires alone could cause such a precise collapse. The official explanation from the National Institute of Standards and Technology was that uncontrolled fires were responsible. However, many found this explanation insufficient, citing the speed and symmetry of the collapse as signs of a controlled demolition. First responders and eyewitnesses reported hearing explosions prior to the building's collapse, and some claim to have seen flashes of light, similar to those in controlled demolitions. These accounts led many to question the official account and suggest an alternative theory. Building 7 was brought down by a controlled demolition, implying an unexpected level of premeditation. These theories, while controversial, challenge our understanding of what transpired on that significant day. Could this have been an inside job? Let's explore further. In the wake of the attacks, the US government swiftly passed the Patriot Act. This law, enacted just 45 days after 9/11, reflected a crucial change in the balance between individual rights and state power. It was hailed as vital for enhancing national security and averting another disaster. However, this step also raised questions about its implications for the citizen. The act expanded the power of law enforcement agencies to fight terrorism, granting the government unparalleled access to private data and personal records. Critics questioned if this went against the very freedoms the government was supposed to safeguard. The right to privacy and freedom from unreasonable searches were fundamental to the American ethos. Were they being compromised? Conspiracy theories suggested that the act was a premeditated plan, not a response to the attacks. Unproven, these theories fueled public distrust. The act altered the relationship between the government and its citizens, triggering a debate that persists today. The question, were we protecting or surrendering our rights for a false sense of security? The Patriot Act, conceived in the aftermath of 9/11, symbolizes larger question. A question that we, as a society, must grapple with in this era of global threats and digital surveillance. Were we trading freedom for the illusion of security? The ripple effects of the 9/11 attacks were felt far beyond the shores of America. The shockwaves altered the course of history. The attacks didn't just influence the US, they transformed the global landscape. All over the world, governments grappled with the balance between security and citizens' rights. This shift often led to decreased personal freedoms. The pursuit of justice led to prolonged wars in Afghanistan and Iraq. The aim was to root out terrorism, but the cost was significant. Lives were lost and nations were destabilized. The remnants of these wars are still visible today. Air travel, symbolizing global interconnection, saw a dramatic shift. A once simple process became a labyrinth of security checks. This was done to ensure safety, but it was also a reminder of unseen threats. Ultimately, the world post-9/11 was forever changed. But at what cost? The answer to that question is as complex as the event itself. A haunting reminder of a day that shook the world to its core. In the wake of the global paradigm shift post-9/11, one significant change was the transformation of media and information dissemination. Prior to the attacks, traditional media outlets like newspapers, television, and radio were the primary sources of news. However, the urgency and magnitude of the 9/11 events necessitated instantaneous updates. This marked the dawn of a new era, where digital media started to take precedence. News websites, blogs, and later social media platforms became the go-to sources for information. This shift was driven by the need for real-time updates and the growing accessibility of the internet. The attacks were a catalyst that accelerated the digital revolution in journalism, bringing forth the age of 24-hour news cycles and immediate user-generated content. However, this new era of information was not without its pitfalls. The democratization of news production led to the proliferation of misinformation and conspiracy theories. The same tools that provided timely updates also became platforms for spreading fear and confusion. As we reflect on the aftermath of 9/11, it's clear that the attacks didn't just change the physical world, they also reshaped our digital landscape. The way we consume and interact with news underwent a seismic shift, a change that continues to shape our perceptions and reactions to global events today. As we navigate this new media landscape, the question remains: how do we ensure the information we consume is accurate and balanced in an age of instant news and widespread misinformation?